boom, 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 boom. Podcast. You can stream it everywhere. Is for that ass. And this is why the show will never get picked up.
Hello.
This is exactly why the show will never get picked up. My name is Carlos Reyes, otherwise known as Los.
My name is Harry Hill, also known as Diddy.
I thought your name was Los too. I thought you were gonna say Los. How's your chi, brother? Cheers. Drinking chi tea. I'm drinking.
I'm not. I hate chai tea. I don't drink chai tea at all.
Whatever it's called, chai, whatever. I don't know. I'm drinking. I'm not gonna say. We're not getting promoted for this. Anyways, Los' Lounge Podcast. We are back in the building. Back. What does that really mean, though? Back in the building. Like, why are we in the building?
Right. Why is it the building?
Why can't we be outdoors? Right now, we've got crickets and birds in the background.
I was thinking farm. Why not the farm?
The farm? Does it smell like shit, though?
Back in the farm.
All right, you're being ignorant. All right. Listen, the show is available on your favorite podcast app, or please hit subscribe on YouTube. And please don't forget to get those likes up and whatnot. Show the support. Season 4 has been going slowly but steadily. Swimmingly, if you will. Swimmingly. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about The Gap. Remember The Gap? Yeah, it's everywhere. Their marketing has been up lately. You can turn on the TV and see the commercials. You can even go down our YouTube rabbit hole, or you can check it out in your fashion magazines. The Gap has been making a resurgence. Losing my air. Yo, who's your favorite white boy? Ben Stiller, Adam Sandler, Will Ferrell, Jim Carrey?
It's tough.
It's tough. I want you to answer that in like 30 seconds. Also, bro, I know you've seen the despicable behavior that's been going on airlines. Not just recently, but just in the last, 7 years. What the hell happened? Especially during the pandemic. What did they inject everybody with? Nas versus Jim Jones. And it's not even the verses that anybody was looking for, but more so a commentary on Jim Jones's thoughts on Nas. And what did Nas do? Jesus. All right. I also want to talk about heat wave and just summertime. You know, it is summertime. It doesn't matter where you live, but just the dangers that it can cause to your car. So car temperatures and stuff like that. Yawning, that's not good from you. Are you tired? Are you bored?
All alone in this danger zone.
Okay, let's get right into it. Best white boy, Ben Stiller, Adam Sandler, Will Ferrell, Jim Carrey. Now, when we say best white boy, I feel like we need to give more context. Like, who is the king out of the four of that? And we look at movies, comedy, just their body
overall
of work.
Humor.
Yeah,
body of work, definitely.
Absolutely.
History, just filmography, obviously. We're looking at it all.
Yeah. I would like for you to begin.
I'm going to have to go with drum rolls, please. I got to go, I'm sorry, Will Ferrell won, just as a personal favorite. I think I'm going Will Ferrell 1. It's tough. It's between Ben Stiller and Will Ferrell for my personal favorites. Now, mind you, we're doing personal favorites, right? Like, this isn't an objective list. Like, I'm just giving my personal favorites. I think I'm going Will Ferrell. Then I'm going Ben Stiller.
Wow.
Then I'm going Adam Sandler. Then I'm going Jim Carrey.
And so mine would be reverse. Complete same list. Well, obviously, but reverse.
Interesting.
Complete. Yeah.
Interesting.
And the same. Number 1 would be Jim Carrey. Number 2, Sandler. Number 3 for me would be Stiller. Number 4 would be Ferrell. Never really cared much for Will Ferrell, although I do love that him and the drummer from Red Hot Chili Peppers look exactly alike.
It's just hilarious.
But I do love Step Brothers and Talladega Nights and like I like some of and Elf. I just don't have a tolerance for him. Like I really don't care though. I gotta be in the mood for Ferrell. I feel like Jim Carrey has just been untouchable since the beginning. And look, he came out of the Wayne School, and they picked him from a reason. So imagine what he was doing. Yeah,
he's the GOAT. Jim is the GOAT. Don't get me wrong. Jim is the GOAT. He's probably the objective GOAT. I'm talking about personal favorite, but, objectively, Jim is the GOAT.
No, I understand.
Jim is the GOAT.
I don't want to be so long-winded with it, but yeah. And then you have Adam Sandler, who came from the Cosby School of showbiz as well, because he was in the Cosby Show. Let's be very clear. He was one of Theo's friends. Damn it, man. Damn, bro. Hey everybody, don't forget Free Wendy Williams. It's it's a movement out here. Wendy Williams is still under her guardianship, and it's been a little bit quiet from her camp. I'm wondering what's going on. I'm wondering, are we saying less because we're moving things legally forward? Are we saying less because we were advised to say less?
When you say who's the we, just curious, who's the we? When you say we're saying less,
I'm wondering if the judge wanted her to not continue doing media outlet interviews.
Right. So the we is saying
so
Wendy?
I'm thinking of
why is Wendy saying less, or why is the judge saying less? Who's the we?
So here's what I say. It could be two schools of thought. Either Wendy and her team are like, maybe it would be smart to say less and let's just keep doing stuff in the background and keep pushing this forward. Or the other thought. Maybe maybe they're silencing her. I don't know. I just feel like, what's the update?
Okay.
What's going on? We haven't had a Breakfast Club interview call in a while. What's the deal? I know she's okay, but she's not okay. So I would love for my girl to be free already. Free Wendy Williams. Hey, if you're looking for a wonderful podcast, don't forget to check out Accidentally Informed with Claudia Jordan, Erica Cobb. My personal favorite podcast is the Brilliant Idiots podcast. What's yours?
Probably the JBP. JBP.
The Joe Bunnins podcast.
Where would you be without the JBP? He has a theme song. Sorry.
All right. Moving
Patronies.
The Gap. Now, if you kind of go back last season, we definitely got into an episode of what the Gap meant to us, the institution of the Gap, especially in American culture. But if, in case you did not know, the Gap was designed and created in 1969 by Don and Doris Fisher, who started the Gap record store in San Francisco, California. And at that time, they were just selling record vinyls and Levi's jeans. Record vinyls and Levi's jeans. And then it just morphed into what we now know as the Gap, especially with its takeover in the 80s. It's revolutionary, iconic style, but it's also simplicity too, right? They had legendary, iconic pieces. I mean, just the basics were like, remember when Sharon Stone, I don't know if you knew this, but Sharon Stone went wearing the Gap one time, just basic black tee, the king of
basics.
Oscars. Yeah.
They're the king of basics to me.
And just their marketing campaigns were everything. They were colorful, they were catchy, they had all the iconic public figures, from artists to actors and singers and photographers and politicians model for them and be campaigns. Where the Gap really, really came into my life, even more so in depth, was obviously being an employee from them, for them, and not knowing the trajectory of how that, because they really did a great job at pouring into educating their staff, their trainings, especially when they did their renovating and they were introducing their new look to many of their flagship stores, including the West Farms Mall store. So just that 3-week extensive training that we had. 3 weeks, brother.
Just on a universal level, Gap to me has my favorite onboarding of any job I've ever had.
Okay.
Just all things considered equal level, you know what I mean? All things considered, it definitely had the best onboarding. My current job had the worst onboarding. So
Oi.
Yeah, so
Oi.
And Gap taught me so many things, dog. I would say the number one thing that Gap taught me was how to deal, is customer service, was essentially how to deal with problematic situations where the other person 100% feels that they're in the right, and you have to navigate essentially cooling down the situation, finding a solution that will not affect your bottom line, but also make the customer happy at the end of the day.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Yeah.
They taught me that. I've been in mad customer service jobs, but Gap actually taught me how to deal with it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, and that was part of the big training, was that the customer service standpoint had to be phenomenal. I mean, people had to walk in there and you know how to sell the wardrobe. They taught guys how to sell women's clothes and women how to sell guys' clothes, and having us try on all different types of styles and teaching us about body shapes, but then also really going into the company history and really focusing on customer centric. What does that look like? What does that feel like? Who do we model ourselves afterwards? And then for a while, it was Starbucks in terms of their customer service, because I remember that being part of the video and this, that, and the other. Rick could testify to this. But the level of training, and so coming from a West Farms Mall store where it's, Connecticut next to Avon, very money. It smells like money. Can be echelon, upper echelon, you can say.
Avon
maybe not
that.
so much as a Stanford or down that way.
No.
But it's money. And then how to sell a Gap card, how to open a Gap card, how to get people to
that.
They taught us
me
all
bro.
that, and reward us for that. And if you have good leadership at any job who really stick to that, because that really starts from the top, then their key players will certainly keep that going. And also new hires would see that too. So when I got to your store, I love that you say that, but I didn't feel that at your store. In fact, when I first got there, I'm probably sure I had a stank attitude, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what did I transfer into? Because I was just so used to a busy machine, and like West Farms, there was no break. Like,
Our store, I'll tell you.
And it wasn't remodeled at all.
Was at all. It was old. It was an old store. I think our store had like 3 components to it. One was like a high turnover rate. People were quitting and being hired on like a weekly, monthly basis. Okay, like we were always hiring someone or firing someone. There was maybe a standard like 3 or 4 employees that were always there, but maybe 6 or 7 that was interchangeable.
Sure.
That's 1. 2 and 3 go hand in hand. I think it was our demographics. You had really snotty Wilbraham white folks, but then you were in the middle of like the hood. Like there were projects all around that surrounded Eastfield Mall.
But are you referencing mall or clientele? I'm seeing staff or clientele.
I'm both. I'm saying that
okay.
I'm commenting on what you said about why your store seemed like dog shit compared to all the other stores. You know what I mean?
Let me elaborate if I can then, to give you context why I said that. Because standards weren't up to par. People weren't like heavy sellers like that. No one was really pushing for Gap card. And on top of that, I already was turned off when I saw how old the store was. Like, even though I've known, because I'm from Springfield, but I live out in Hartford now. Mm-hmm. Now I'm moving back. And I was disgusted by that. I was like, ugh. And nobody really I guess wasn't passionate for it the way I was.
Yeah.
Because I got there super passionate.
It was a job. It was just literally
that was
a job.
my full timer. That paid the bills for me for 3 years.
Yeah, I feel you.
Or for however long I was at West Farms.
A lot of us were part-time employees because of school. We were in school. We were young. We were a young team. Yeah. There were Jason.
I started out as part-time in that store too.
Who?
I started out as part-time there too when I got transferred. Yeah.
Yep.
They said we don't have full-time, but we're happy to take you and
see where it goes.
Yeah. Let me also not shit on that. I also got promoted twice. At Eastfield, yeah. Brand logistics and customer experience.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
I don't think I got promoted once. I don't remember.
So that got me into leadership because remember I was your manager at that point.
I definitely was probably the problem. Like I half-assed that job. I can say that for sure. Like I was working 2 other jobs, going to school full time. Like Gap to me was to talk to girls. Like that's why I was working at the Gap. I didn't have the passion that you had for it. I loved clothes. I loved fashion. Yeah. Yep. Not just that. Like think about it. You know what I mean? Like
there was varieties in denim.
Cheeks. From indigo to white wall.
I'm trying to hold it all in. All right. Anyways, what is the point of me saying this? Is that I saw an MSNBC or a CNBC, one of those two, and I want to say it was CNBC report on the Gap, and I definitely watched it because obviously my heart is. First of all, their clothes are still great. I think, especially their essentials. They're timeless. They're long lasting. I just threw out last year, and I didn't want to. But it was time because we're getting older. We're putting on some pounds, and they didn't fit anymore for the first time. I had a pair of Gap 1969 jeans And 1969 denim was a separate denim until they got rid of it. Remember the 1969 jeans were like the fashion washes.
They were $80.
Yeah.
$70-something.
Bro, you know the jeans. There's many pictures. They were distressed denim with the knee here, and they were a perfect color. Bro, I paid $4.97 for those jeans. Those jeans sat in the middle of a display, right? In front of the wall are the fucking chamber of denim, which was awesome because you wheel it and it moves, and I get to climb up like Spider-Man, and it was awesome. Phenomenal. Not the back room wall.
Oh, you're talking about something
Nah,
else.
I'm talking about the store at West Farms, bro.
Okay.
Just the aesthetic of it is beautiful. I'm dying to walk in there again. Anyways, and these jeans happen to be in display on that display thing for like a good year, and maybe a year and a half.
So the
And
sale
I
was...
Brother, by the time I was like, I want to try on those jeans. Let me get a price point. I saw the price point. I saw the size. I tried them on. Brother, up until last year, I threw them out. That's how long I had those jeans.
That's crazy. I can attest to, I've definitely hid a leather jacket. I hid a leather jacket. I just kept hiding it.
Okay.
And just waited for it to go on sale.
Oh, yeah. Because the discount was phenomenal.
Black leather jacket, bro.
We used to have 50% off 6 items a month.
But it changed. I don't know if you remember. It
And
wasn't
unlimited
always like
30% off.
It
and
wasn't
then it
not-
changed.
Yeah, bro. Then it became you could only do like 2 or 3 a month, and it had to be, you know what I mean? Like it was.
Yeah, it got
was
bullshitty.
crazy.
Yeah, it was 10% off all sale.
Yep.
But those end of the season sales, but it was nice to get like fresh new stuff. Anyways, I say all that to say, and we say all that to say, is that fall into the Gap again, because it's a timeless American staple and such a staple in fashion. And moving on from fashion to that.
Favorite jeans by far. My favorite jeans. More than Levi, more than Express, more than...
Yeah. I miss the thin Henleys. The thin long sleeves. Oh, the thin thermals. The thin ones, not the heavy waffle.
I got 2 in there. I know. I got 2 in there.
Get you one in every color, and you are good with a nice
Every
chain.
Christmas, $15.
Oh, disgusting. Shout out to Gap Inc. All right. Hip hop.
Started out in the park.
You know, Slick Rick, one of the fathers,
For sure.
of hip hop.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers from London. Which is fabulous. Because that really just shows, like, oh, man. Anyways, that's a whole different conversation. Slick Rick Harry introduced me to his new album, which is called, I don't even know what it is, but go look at
Victory.
It's called Victory. And I got to tell you, Slick Rick and the production and just the art, but also the cohesiveness of that entire album, flawless. Give him the Grammy, Best Hip Hop Album of the Year. And if not, fuck you, Grammys.
It's only July.
And it's only July. Give him the Grammy. Give him the Grammy. Give him the Grammy. Harry, what did you tell me earlier? They're trying to say that it's AI made because his flow and the way his voice sounds, it hasn't aged.
It's
at
flawless.
all. Go. Because you put me onto it.
Yo, so the album is incredible. I think it's a short album. It's 27 minutes. It has maybe 9 to 11 tracks on it. It doesn't have too many songs.
Maybe 35 minutes at least.
Nah, 27.
Is it really?
I timed it, 27. 27 minutes. But there's a few interludes on there. So, you know, he went back to his UK roots. There's a couple dirty house UK grind on their tracks that, you know, I think my only real critique is that although I dig the beats, I just wish a lot of the beats had just like a 4-bar loop. There wasn't too much going on with it. It was just this 4-bar loop that every 4 bars it just repeat, and I don't know. I just wanted something, and make the beat drop for a second. You know what I mean? Like let me hear your voice.
You were looking for a little versatility.
Yeah, just within the track. But other than that, I'm gonna give the album out of 10.
Yeah, 0 to 10.
I'm gonna give it a 7.8 to an 8, like a 7.7 to an 8.
I'm gonna give it a 8.6.
Okay.
I'm gonna say why. If I could play devil's advocate to your last statement,
please.
I felt like even though that was a lot of the repetition within the arrangement or the beat, the production, his layers, like Stressed, for example.
Stressed.
Like that part alone. So to me, that's like an instrument. You know, just like in the tones and just so on certain tracks. On certain tracks. I felt like he got in his cunt Renaissance house. I felt like he went to Beyonce's show, the Renaissance tour, and came out pure cunt on that fucking house track. That was just fire. It was everything. I wasn't expecting that. That
he was
blew my mind.
interviewed on that track, and he said his response was, "Yo, black people love house. Like we made this shit.
Absolutely,
like,
Chicago.
Like, what's wrong with me making a house track? You know what I mean? Like, I think this shit is fire, so I put it on in his UK British voice. You know what I mean?
But also, it adds. It's like that. It's like the lemon over the salmon.
It broke the badadi.
Yeah, it breaks the. It's like a color block almost. You know, I like that. I thought he was passing. I was like, "What are you doing?" All right, Slick Rick. So shout out to Slick Rick. I want you to get into this Jim Jones. And for those who don't know, you can listen to it on your own. You can look it up. But Jim Jones had very colorful comments to say about Nas in a conversation that he was having with
Joe and
Shannon
Jada.
and
Shannon Sharp. It started
too.
with Joe and Jada.
Right.
Shannon wanted to pick up on it and was like, "Yo, you invited Jim over."
Okay. Go.
And he brought up the same thing that Fat Joe brought up. He said, "Yo, there's a clip going around of this young 22-year-old," and Jim was like, "Yeah, that's my young boy right there. He's wild," or something like that. And he, Joe just broke it down. He broke the clip down of like this young man pretty much saying that Jim Jones influences the culture at a much higher rate and impact than Nas. So, they got into it, and they actually kind of went back and forth. And I don't think my real issue is that Jim is not getting enough pushback from the hosts that are asking these questions. They're kind of just nodding their head along. I don't know if they just don't want to be problematic.
Well, Shannon Sharp, I'm not expecting
Shannon did it. No, Shannon was the first one, but even then, like Ocho Cinco was like agreeing with Jim like the whole time and just not pushing back on any of it. You're right. Shannon did push back.
Shannon pushed back, but at the same time, Shannon, I wouldn't really expect. I mean, I loved that he was like, "You can't even name 5 Nas songs."
No, but that's the real thing too.
Like
Shannon, you ain't no. Like, I don't know if he's a real Nas fan like that. Like, so it just seemed a little performative. You're right. It seemed a little performative, but
in the same way, I don't know any Jim Jones songs, so this is why this is your corner.
So one of the biggest beefs and embarrassing moments for Jim that he just called a little boo boo. His words. He said, "I made a little boo boo on shit." Was that he said?
I'm sorry.
He has more Billboard entries. He has more gold. He has more platinum plaques than Nas. And immediately within 20 seconds, everyone started posting after seeing the clip, the real facts, because you can just easily Google it. This is all Googleable.
Nas 11
Destroys him.
Entries into the Billboard Top 100. 6 or 7 of them went to number 1. Many hit singles since. You can name. I mean, what are we saying? What are we saying in this conversation, Harry? What is he saying? Did he? Where was he during Magic 1, 2, and isn't there 3?
He's trying to say that shit was that they were duds. Jim is essentially saying where was he for King's
3? Like, listen, 5 to 6 albums in a 4 to 5 year time span, and you have like no features on many of these albums. You and Hit Boy went and just fucking sparked fire, and the shit he was spitting and his cadences, and it was like, oh shit, Nas.
Yeah, the Magic albums were like the lyrical,
King's Disease
3.
King's
Disease 3 though that might be my favorite one, or Magic 1. Magic 1 is fire.
But even at that, it's just I'm still here. I'm still putting in the work.
Yeah.
Is my point.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, Jim has dropped a few albums. You know what I mean? Jim has dropped a few albums.
And so I don't know this because I don't follow him. So this is where I want you to continue.
So Jim has dropped a few albums too over the years, and he has skyrocketed his lyrical ability. It's almost like he found a ghostwriter or something, because people are now respecting his pen, and that was always like the conversation around Jim Jones, was that he ain't a lyricist. He's just saying words on a track. He ain't a real rapper. But now, Jim has changed that conversation, and people now look at him as like a competent MC.
Okay.
In the past week, Jim has said he's nicer and will wrap circles around Nas, around Pusha T, and around Jadakiss.
You can't see my face, but I'm giving the Wendy Williams Scrooge face. Like,
It's
no.
insane. It's
Yeah,
insane.
that's a big, bold statement. Because, you know what? I don't have to say why.
It's
I don't have to say anything.
Jim is saying he's trolling, but he means it. He's on a run right now. He's on a.
Does he have an album coming out?
I think he had a double album that dropped a couple months ago. So maybe he's trying to boost the sales of that. It's his most recent album. I think it was in like March or something, April.
So rents do.
Possibly.
Sour grapes.
There are. Him and Nas have had. This is personal for Jim. This is personal.
So they have a history?
They have a history.
So then go into that a little bit because I don't know that.
So the origin of it is, at least from Jim's standpoint, really just started when Nas was beefing with Hov. It was that simple. We're down with this label because Cameron has admitted this, and Jim Jones has admitted this. They were much bigger Nas fans than Hov fans growing up.
Okay.
They idolized Nas.
Okay.
Nas was the king.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I want to be a jackass and be like, you didn't say Jay-Z did too.
Remember, Jay-Z didn't start rapping, or at least didn't drop his debut album until 26. Compare that with Nas, who's been rapping since he was 16. So Nas was in high school when he's dropping a lot of this shit.
Yeah, he was already making Illmatic at 15. Yeah.
It's insane, you know what I mean? With Large Professor. And, Large Professor was the adult in the room, essentially. But, Cam and Jim has admitted this. But also, remember, Cam and Jim has also shitted on Hov. So, anyways. Fast forward to the battle. Jim and Cam are also shitting on Nas now. Just because Nas is battling their boss. You know what I mean? So, they're like henchmen. You know what I mean? They're capos, essentially. Like
Pawns.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And Nas dropped a track or two in response, but he didn't pay him no mind. He was interviewed in 2004, and Nas said, "Yo, imagine me picking up a pen for Jim. Like, what the fuck I look like."
And this is when people were just saying he's just going in the studio, he's not a lyricist.
That Jim is not a lyricist, exactly. That was the conversation. So it was like,
okay.
If Nas was to do that, people would look at Nas like, why are you bullying? Like, you're way, he's out of your league. Like, what are you doing? But,
So let me ask you this. Fast forward to, like, last 10 years. Have they been seen together? Never.
Jim has, anytime Nas is brought up, Jim, for some reason, every few years, brings up Nas. Out of nowhere.
Okay.
Out of nowhere. So,
okay.
Jim has something personal. Yeah.
In the meantime, Nas is out there in some island being a
New York Knights was the caption. It was sitting with billionaires. It was LeBron.
Sitting with billionaires and probably almost at that status, climbing himself little by little, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because his portfolio.
Insane. Early investor in Ring Camera. Early investor in, I think it was Snapchat.
Diversify.
Yo, Bond.
But he still got child support with Khalees. All right. Listen.
She's so fun.
Khalees is incredibly musically.
Flawless.
She is incredible. I love the journey that she's
Physically,
on as a
she
chef.
is incredible.
And she's beautiful. She is one of those rare beauties. A rare beauty that must be protected.
So did I answer the rundown? Was that sufficient?
Nah, you got in your bag.
That?
Yeah, no, I understand it.
And let me be clear, there's no comparison. Like, Jim is just, I don't know what he's on right now. People are calling him a
Who's
crackhead.
better, Jim Jones or Pitbull?
Jim.
Who's better, Jim Jones or Jadakiss?
Kiss.
Who's better, Jim Jones or Afro Man?
Jim.
Who's better, Jim Jones or
Style Speed.
Rick Ross?
Ross.
Who's better, Jim Jones or Method Man?
Meth.
Yeah, I'm not checking for Jim Jones. I don't, maybe. Also, I understand what he's saying that, he feels like, I did hear a sense of, I'm on TV and, excuse me, for Love and Hip Hop. Is that what it is? Yeah.
He was the OG of it.
I think I don't like seeing, but see, I'm not familiar with him again. So, like when Remy and Pap was on that show, I felt like that was beneath them. Do you understand? Like I feel like certain things are beneath certain people.
They didn't think so.
They didn't think so. And I'm sure it paid the bills, but
What income they got coming in? They're not dropping no albums.
I understand this, so I get that too. So I guess that's where Jim fits in. All right, that makes sense. All right, well, let's wrap that. Well, you know what? Salute to Jim for having confidence, but at the end of the day, Nasir Jones is still. I am. You just. Oh. Okay. No, we're Gucci. We're Gucci gang. Oh, he fucked up production. Yeah, I've been looking at everything. Everything is beautiful. You know, sometimes here at Los's now, a cord is pulled, a screen goes black. Things happen. This is a very low budget indie podcast, but at the same time, we want to deliver
right on camera.
Just, you know, interesting dialogue. Also, I do have to say, don't forget to follow the show on Instagram, LosLounge_podcast. Don't forget to hit subscribe on the YouTube channel. The show is available on so many platforms. I do want to say congratulations to the show for having over 50,000 streams. It's been a long time coming. I feel like I should have had that. But I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for the listeners. It's still going. I do have to give a big shout out to Reese. I also have to give a big shout out to Claudia Jordan. Especially Claudia too, for, you know, like always resharing and reposting and just keeping the show or the name of my show alive to your audience. I really appreciate that. I love me some Claudia Jordan, you know. I do. That's my girl. That's my girl. And shout out to Reese. Shout out to Reese. Go check out Reese's music. Let's get Reese, and also shout out to you for still doing it with me. Pause. After so many years.
Cheers.
Shout out to Jasmine, who is the first lady of the lounge. And a big shout out to Renzo Del Castillo. You can get his book called Still, available where books are sold. Let's get right into it. Temperatures are high, and I don't just mean here in the summertime in America. I'm talking about politically. I'm talking about World War III vibes. I'm talking about it all. I'm going to speak from the emotional standpoint, not from the statistical or standpoint where I would after I would have read several articles or whatnot, because I feel like I've seen and I've heard enough, because it's the fucking same story, just getting worse. So I'm gonna go here before you go into your bag. I'm tired of seeing human destruction of life. I'm tired of seeing the negligence of being proactive in order to stop that and to just I'm tired of seeing so much war and crime and political violence. I might not agree with Donald Trump and his administration, but I have the freedom of right to say fuck Donald Trump. But I also wouldn't want his house to be bombed on, or anyone else's around the world. Iran, Israel, Palestine. Enough is enough, is what I'm saying. Enough war. Shit's getting real with Putin. It's just giving... It's giving biblically end of times. It's giving no accountability. It's also giving inhumane, or it's been given that. I mean, that might be the name of the game, inhumane. The fact that there are still so many Palestinians out there suffering that are fucking hungry, or the fact that I keep scrolling through my Instagram and seeing innocent kids and video bloggers getting bombed. I want to just add a quick, before I, continues to get dark and deep and real, if anything, not dark and deep. I saw a clip, and please forgive my asshole smile, but I saw a clip of people in Lebanon. I hope it was AI, but I don't think it was. They're watching the thing, but there was a party happening.
Oh, that's real.
Oh.
That's real. It was a wedding.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was a wedding. They're right next to there. They've been getting bombed. They got bombed a few weeks ago. Like, Israel, they're wild. Israel.
Wildin'.
Israel wild.
And the DJ kept looking back like, One of the because there was a couple of them there. It was crazy. That was fucking crazy.
If we're talking about the same thing, you know, with the missiles coming down.
Yeah, nighttime. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like it was like a rooftop party or something.
It was a wedding.
Jeez. All right. Anyways, I say all this to say, my God, heaven, Father, protect us all. And when you look at everything, Harry, that's going on in America, I mean, Harry, I met you back in 2009. Life may not have been perfect, but the world, I feel like made a little bit more sense. And yet, I can't even say that. It felt... It was just different, Harry. You know this. I don't even know where I'm going from here. I just hate talking about it. Because it's kids that look like Ivy, like you taught me. It's people that look like us and our aunts and our uncles. It's even here in the States. Everything that's been happening. However, Jennifer Lewis once said, these are not frightening times, these are awakening times. You can check out that quote and more on the Breakfast Club interview that really taught me a lot. I love Jennifer Lewis. That's all I got, bro. Yeah, that's all I have to give.
Yeah, God bless the 400,000 souls that have been perished by Israel in Palestine alone. So, you know, God bless those souls, and may they rest in peace.
Yeah, I hope they were Father God.
You know, most of those are babies. Most of those are infants. Just remember that when you go to bed tonight, that a lot of that is being funded by American tax dollars. And we're in one of those positions where a lot of times, you know, Americans can't really... What can you really do? How can you boycott your taxes not going to Israel, right? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, just like you're in the system. You're a player in the system, and you can't really get out of the system, out of that system. But other than that, shout out to all my brothers and sisters protesting day in and day out. It's dark out there. And, you know, I just want to say, you know, a quick fact right now. You know, we bombed Iran. You know, shit's about to hit, you know, the Strait of, I forgot what it is, but Iran's about to close the strait. And this strait is where I think it's like 60%, 35% of oil travels through there. And once they close that, okay,
gas price,
everything goes up.
Gas prices.
Gas, like medicine, everything goes up. Everything goes up. And, you know, your president...
Not my president.
Was just on... just came off the helicopters, or Air Force One, I'm sorry, and was like, Israel don't know what the fuck they're doing. Because he's trying to make it, you know, a ceasefire, but, you know, Israel runs by their own accord. So, unfortunately, half of Congress is bought by them, more than half. So...
Say that again?
More than half of Congress is bought by them, is funded by them, is you know, has donations given by them.
Yeah.
But I will say this, you know, the mask is off, and this Israel project, I don't think is going to last much longer. I don't think it is. They don't really have there's phone cameras now, bro. You know what I mean? Like, there's evidence now, easier evidence to get. It's not shit just locked away in a safe for 50 years and no one finds out until someone breaks into that safe. Like, this is 2025, dog. Mm. Everyone is recording every day. We see the bombs. We see what's going on, bro. So, we see the propaganda happening live. We saw it happen live.
Not that tone, Harry.
So,
I'm sorry.
Again, God bless those 400,000 souls.
All right. Well, when I think about my penis, I think about the good times. I think about the fun times. I think about the joy that we've had all these years in my adulthood. When I think about my penis, I reflect on a brotherhood.
Why would you think about that?
Between my hand and my penis.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I'm not here for your entertainment. You don't really wanna... I don't want to get sued by Pink.
Sound like Kelly Clarkson.
Pink.
Oh, okay.
It's just you
Kelly.
and your hands tonight. Shout out to Pink. When is Pink gonna get that? Next topic before we end today's show. Jay-Z is rumored to be part of the Super Bowl, or not part of the Super Bowl, to be the Super Bowl act. I am dying to get into this.
After re-signing for another 5 years he just re-signed Rock Nation as the whatever. What would you call that? What would you call his position over there?
The penis.
Okay.
He's the penis. The NFL is the body, but the penis is the show. No, he does have... I don't know what his title would be. I'm sorry. I'm being silly and facetious and pretty sophomoric at this point. What did you say? Yeah. That's a good word, sophomoric.
Sure.
I'm just saying, I'm out here. I hate you because it reminded me of your dad from earlier. Because that was so dramatic.
I was about to do it.
Nothing will ever top that. So don't go for it. Jay-Z and B. All right, here are my thoughts. Jay-Z, Rock Nation in the building.
Please get it in the trash this time.
You know what? And fuck you, Harry, for coming on to me. Not coming on to me. For coming at me. Coming on to me. Jesus. Harry's coming on to me. Because Vicky went to DR. She took baby Ivy. And now Harry's coming on to me hard. It's so gay. So gay. So gay. So gay. Yo, right now my niece and sis-in-law are in paradise. And I have to be honest with you.
Oh, there must have been an angel by my side.
Shout out. And so I was going to shout out Reese and Val Fleury. Paradise song. I want to give a big shout out to Vicky in this moment. And Ivy. But at the same time, I'm hating on you. But at the same time, I feel blessed because you and I have gotten to spend a lot of time together in the last couple of weeks. And I got to say, it's been phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
It's been soul food. I love you. I'm proud of you. I know life is tough sometimes for all of us. Not just for you. I don't want to make this sound like a sad violin for him because he's blessed. But what I do want to say is we're all going through stuff. And we all go through stuff. And sometimes our plates are full. And sometimes there's just not enough fucking hours in the day. Now, I don't know what that feels like. I'm sorry to be so loud.
Not to laugh.
I'm sorry.
Okay, Jack Nicholson.
Give me to get the cigar. But for people who have families, wives, husbands, whatever, it's a lot more demanding. The schedule and the demands of it, never mind your work hours to everything that goes in between. So I'm being mindful to that. So people that live those lives. Yeah, the laugh was obnoxious, but it was honest.
I get. Oh, good.
I just want to say, I say all this to say that I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you, and I'm very proud of Vicky. You guys should really give yourself some grace. Not that you don't, but I hope that when even she hears this, or even when you play this back, that you guys give yourself some grace, because there are no rules. And fuck, man, I just look at you guys and I'm just like, fuck. We talk about this on a personal level. I'll talk a little bit about it. I always say recently that I really wish I was I wish I wasn't gay. You know, I want to know what it's like to be married to a woman, to have my child. I feel like that. Oh, like we talked. There's no awes. There's no sad violence. We've talked about this. This isn't nothing new. I'm just expressing it for the first time, probably. I really do, because I just women are so beautiful and sexy. And now that I've eaten the poom poom, I'm not scared no more.
You ate the apple.
I ain't scared no more.
You ate the apple.
I grew up.
That apple's sweet, ain't it?
I swear. It was like a hometown buffet. For those who don't know that story, you're gonna have to go back. We're not gonna get into that. But let me tell you, straight men listening.
Was it hairy?
No, it was like there was hair, but it was minimal and it was around, like nicely. Phenomenal taste. And the wetter it got, like I was just like, man, listen. Jeez.
Was your finger popping?
And I was maneuvering with my finger and play, and she told me, a little too much when it was a little too much, and what she liked.
What's she like?
Less is more with the finger. Your tongue was doing just fine.
So she liked the tongue.
The tongue, I was down with
Can I ask
Harry.
you this?
I kept between the making out and then me getting head, and then I kept going back down because I was mind blown. I was proud of myself.
Did you, with your tongue, right? Did you do the open mouth or did you do the closed, kind of just the tongue out?
I was just like layered in that, so I'm sure I started out as like a small, because I'm just I'm swimming in the lady pond with my mouth for the first time. Vagina in my face.
You needed to get coached.
In my face.
And the coach sounds like she was a good coach.
In the face. And so, next thing you know, I was like, yo, treat this the way you treat when you eat an ass.
Okay.
And you should be golden.
Oh.
But remember, there's a clitoris here.
Right.
And the clitoris.
Sensitive.
I'm just saying.
Gotta hold your horses.
Mom and Dad, this episode is not for you.
The long walk has always worked out.
Brother, I kept going back to I couldn't stop eating.
And you know what? To all my brothers out there, master your foreplay, okay? Master the long game.
I could have came right then and been satisfied, yeah. And then I went in, and I was self-conscious, my brother, because I'm so used to the booty hole. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. She has a booty hole.
Was she down for that?
No. There was gonna be no booty hole actually. Oh, it's right here. But I felt like my angles.
One for you in there.
I appreciate you. My angles, I felt like had to be a little different, just because of spacing and whatnot.
Okay, you was giving me a geometry bag.
I was definitely perpendicular.
Go ahead, Pythagorean.
I'm just trying to be the theory. Be the theory, okay? So I was self-conscious because I'm thinking, yo, I'm going in, I'm enjoying this, but am I pleasing her? I guess I did. I don't know. Whatever. She said she came. I don't know. I kept eating the pussy after I pulled the dick out. It was a little stickier, and it was sweeter. Mm-hmm. So I felt like, and then I stroked off, and then I nutted, and that's the end of the story. And that's the not the
I know,
not
right?
the sound effect.
I literally said that in my head.
I was like, ew. Yay. All right. Well, this episode is sponsored by Johnson & Johnson Baby Oil. Yo. Oh. Let's move on from sexology. How many did I break? Look, the conversation got so good I had to roll 2 of these. Yo, Diddy. Let's wrap this up with Diddy. Because we are living in a time where it's kind of, after from what I've heard on multiple people who are credible, who were in that courtroom, and also different news outlets, it's giving 50-50. And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
If you don't already know, or if however you feel, whatever, just say this.
Yeah.
He didn't testify.
Which helped him.
Which, because his team did such a good job, and there's 2 trains of thoughts. There's that his team did such a great job, and that the prosecution,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Kind of
Dropped the
ball in certain areas and really kind of came weak. Whereas they started off strong, kind of midway they got weak, where it was weak enough where they didn't have to have Diddy testify. So there's a lot, there's a thought process in that. What does that say? Well, they had a fucking good defense on many things. They didn't drop any of those charges, if I'm not mistaken, but trying to take off 2 from what he can be charged for. So maybe I am saying this wrong. However, anyways, so there's that. So there's that feeling good, like this can go very well for him. However, the big picture is also the sex trafficking, which that's done. We've proven that. This is all my opinion, from what I've heard. Obviously, right? But we've proven not so much on the RICO kind of, or was it racketeering? But kind of. But there was so many, whatever. But then the thing is, even if they... Oh, and then the one that I was still baffled about, but yeah, at the end of the day, there was no actual proof. There was no video proof. No one saw him actually try to set Kid Cudi's car on fire. So you have to have proof in the court of law. That's fair. Although in public opinion, we can sit back and give him the Wendy Williams Scrooge face and say, mm-hmm. So there's that. There's also the conversation of, nah, he's going away. And minimum at least 10 years. And depending on how many charges he gets, obviously, you guys know, you follow the news. Depending on how many charges he gets found guilty on is obviously going to determine the amount of years. I say all this to say that, isn't it weird in this time, in this case, because again, I do this show as a legacy thing to listen back to in 30 years. God willing, I'm still here. Or maybe in 10 years, if I decide to stop. Whatever. But in this point in time in history, Diddy is on fucking trial for a lot of debauchery. Now, even if 2 of those charges were taken away, keep in mind the jury already heard and seen all these testimonies that not only were emotional, gruesome, but were sexually charged and incredibly tough to listen to. I want to be the juror who has to sit and watch the tapes. I want to see the tapes. Show me the tapes. I want to watch it with Puff. Hey, Puff. Hey, Puff. You nasty bastard. Blah. I'm a nasty bastard too. The difference is no baby oil on my end. No sex trafficking. Damn it, Puffy. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Now when you say take that, I'm conflicted. Do I take it? If I take it, what's it going to do to me? Here's my other train of thought on this. I'm being silly in the process. Is that if he is found free, if he is found innocent, and he is let out, me personally, even though I'm still going to watch, don't you agree with me that who the fuck wants to see this man on his victory tour? And I don't mean a musical tour. I mean the tour of media, the tour of him probably talking his shit on social media. Or, for the victims, the tour of revenge. For the victims and those who testified, what does that look like if this man walks free? Does he go for vengeance? Is it going to give mobster vibes? Are these people's lives in danger if he goes free? So there's those 2 trains of thoughts. And it's just crazy how this case has turned. And that's all I have to say on Diddy. Top 4 MCs for you this week. MCs. This week.
Going with Nas, Slick, Kendrick, and Freddie Gibbs.
I'm going to go with Kendrick. You notice I got in my man voice when I said that. 43, baby. This is what... You know what I'm saying?
Hey, now.
Hey, yo, this is what I sound like after I eat some pussy. You know what I'm saying?
You sound like J.O. Damage's character.
Yo, I got called today, Joe Coy.
Oh, wow.
At Dazed. One of the customers, she was like, oh my God, you look like Joe Coy.
Joseph.
In my mind, I was like, but my mom loves him, and he does get in his bag, and he is funny as shit.
That's Vicky's favorite comedian.
And honestly, I loved him on Chelsea. Oh.
Vicky met him in Chicopee. Yeah, Hookie Lau.
Ah. yeah, fun facts about Victoria. Next week we'll find. I didn't say the whole government. That's her first name.
Anyways, next week you'll find.
Oh my God!
Hopefully this is
your first name is.
Hopefully this is recording.
Your first name is Harry, right?
Okay. All right.
I'm just saying, ease up on it. You know what I'm saying?
So you said what? You said next week.
I love you.
Next week.
Next week. You fucked up my joke. We'll find out what's Victoria's dirtiest secret, and who she told, and why did she tell him, and are they keeping it a secret? Ooh, Victoria. All right, that's what happens after I eat pussy. By the way, there's more. He is so disgusted. You can't see it, but he wants to punch me so bad. Where does that fall in line with your mama jokes, which we haven't done in about a good 7 years? I miss them.
I don't.
They were good though.
It was really your daddy jokes. You just had daddy jokes.
So it's not the fact that, well, hello, I'm gay, and your father's gorgeous.
Okay. All right.
Respectfully, he's a handsome man. You are a handsome man too.
Understood.
Oh God, man. So it's okay when your mama, but when I be like, yo, your daddy broke my back. How about that, bitch? Then everybody just, you know what I'm saying? It gets icky. That's not how I view Pops. That's Pops. But, you know, that's just how we used to talk to each other when we were sophomoric. All right. Well, one word association game. First of all, I want to say thank you for doing this episode with me. I love you. Once this mic goes off, him and I will be getting back into our brotherly session. But I don't say this enough, and I know I got into this earlier, and I don't want to keep sounding like an emotional sleazebag, but I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, brother.
I'm very fucking proud of you.
Appreciate you, man.
And your evolution, but not just even in these last 4 years, even just like your 2015 and on growth. You started. That's when Harry, 2015, especially once you got that apartment, you really started to evolve, outgrow, read more, learn more. Your philosophy was different, and look where you are now. I'm very fucking proud of you. I love you.
Love you too, bro.
One word association game.
Lackluster.
Jim Jones.
I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting. Excruciating.
Jim Jones music. No. The news. The news. Come on now, it's a 1 hour show.
Prerogative.
Bobby! The fact that Bobby hates Britney Spears' version.
Okay.
Ew, what's going on over here? Oh my God. This is why this show's never going to get picked up.
Malice.
Government. Hit me with one more, and that'll be 5. Hit me, baby, that'll be 5. My loneliness is killing me. I'm gonna stop.
Please. Clairvoyance.
Ooh. Stillness. You're laughing, but I feel like there's a pathology. It's cathartic. No, because in order to get there, you have to. Oh, it's right. But that's what you was doing when you was like, shut your mouth. All right.
No, but there's a pathology.
Intelligence.
Sapiosexual.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck? Clearly, I don't have any intelligence. How are you gonna hit me with that? What is this?
People that are attracted.
Mr. Bunny! Hi, I see you! I see... He has a bunny in his backyard right now. It's beautiful. Yo, fuck your answer. Am I a what is it? Sapiosexual?
I don't think so.
What does that mean?
That you are attracted to intelligence. That's your
Oh.
That's your forte.
How How do you pronounce that?
Sapiosexual.
I'm a sapiosexual. You stimulate my mind before my booty hole and my dick. Oh, I'm all yours. And my emotions. And if you can cook. Go. Oh, that's all? I'm sorry. I was excited. I learned something new. All right. Marijuana.
Unnecessary.
I know why he says that. Connection.
Ooh. Happen chance. I'm sorry. Happenstance.
Yeah, I figured that. Santo Domingo.
Roots.
I think that was 4.
That was 4.
Last one. Innocence.
Palestine.
Hey, this has been Los's Lounge Podcast. I am your host, Carlos Reyes. When I started this show 4 years ago, maybe over 4 years now, it was just to keep a verbal journal of life and to see what I can do. And it actually became a really pretty good show. Good, bad, or indifferent. It is a part of an extension of who I am, who we are. It's not really so much an extension, but a documentation. And I'm really proud of where this show has gone, and I'm really thankful for all the listeners in all the different countries outside of the United States of America, and to everybody who supported this show, whether it's family or friends or people who have hit me up on social media, which happens from time to time, which is awesome. I love when that randomly happens. But I say all that to say that this show is really become more than a passion project. It's become therapy. I do apologize that season 4 has been going so slowly and steadily, but at the same time, I'm not sorry because nobody's paying us to do this. I don't pay Harry, I don't pay Renzo, I don't pay Jasmine to take time out of their busy lives to sit and put up with me for an hour and create a show. We do this from the heart. They do this from the heart, and everything is just made with love. And maybe not every episode is up to par as maybe the last, 10 have been, because ever since I feel like Renzo has come to the show, we talked about this, he's definitely has, I just feel like Renzo has made me want to set the show up more, and bring more, and A-game it more, and demand that too from you guys too. You know, like we all should, it's just, I don't know. And it's just, we want to give you quality. And not that the rest of the show wasn't quality before. I'm just saying that there's always room for growth, right? And that's just in all areas of life. There's always room for growth. You never want to get stagnant. And you also never want to be just one thing. I also do hope that after listening to today's episode, you just have a little grace to everybody. Be kinder. You know, Harry, I'm going to end this episode on, there goes that fucking bunny again. I'm going to adopt him. What would his name be? Phil. See, he looked. That's
Get
Phil.
the fuck out my flower garden.
Phil. Well, give him some fucking carrots or something. What the fuck?
They don't even like carrots. That was some marketing bullshit
okay,
by the
but
fucking Looney Tunes.
let's find out. We'll Google. We'll leave a plate.
Like
you build a bond. I'm just saying. We'll take.
You don't even care. See,
I love animals.
Poison bunnies.
I love animals. Okay, I say all that to say I'm so proud of this show. I'm grateful for the show. And I'm also grateful for those who have reposted things and just shared it. I can't thank you more than ever for making the cover art. You are the designer of the cover art. And what you guys don't know about Harry is that Harry is highly educated. I mean, I went back to college and the man already had a degree and was already going back to school to get another degree on top of that. So that's just to show you how, like, in the books he is. You know, we come off sometimes very juvenile and like two teenagers, but that's kind of why we do this too. And that's always been the aesthetic, not always been that, but that's always been a really big corner of our friendship, is that we're kids at heart and we can be two collegiate brothers at heart. You know what I'm saying? We can tap into that 21-year-old with each other, and know when to switch it up if need be. So I just I don't know. I just wanted to speak on that. I really do think and Renzo for further inspiring the show. The first lady of the lounge is Jasmine. I love you, and yo Harry, I love you, and to the audience, I love you, and this is it, man. And hey, motherfuckers, you hear that beat? Now play it. Fuck it, play it louder. Yo, I don't care today. Is this an instrumental? Okay. LOS, this is my flow. The other day, I saw my aunt glow. Big mama too, and my cousin Ma. We kicked it, yeah, we kicked it real far. It's just these ridiculous freestyles. I'm just kicking it in the meanwhile. Vicky's out on the island with my niece, so I'm kicking it with Papa Bear. He's a beast. Ow. Yo, from the west into the east. Hope that infection doesn't scream yeast. Hope that you protecting it out in the streets. Cover that dick up and don't get the HIV. Don't get the STDs, don't get nothing because it's real. And when I look at the young kids, yo, they so real, so sublime, and so for real. I wish this track was produced by Pharrell. Yo, and I feel real swell. Praying to God every day, don't go to hell. It's Pride Month, but I think I'm all set. I'd rather be flying to another... Oh, I fucked it up. See, that's where I let it go. And it always happens when you freestyle. First of all, I don't know who I think I am. And then he's over here just dancing. This is ridiculous. Do you want to spit something real quick? Or just no?
Do I want to spit something? No, I don't.
Oh, my God. Los' Lounge Podcast. We'll see you on the next one. Oh, my God. God is good. Please be kind to yourself. Grace.
I guess I do. Hey.
Oh. Grace. Wait. When I put it in their face, when I slap them with my dick on their forehead. All right, cut it. No, it's got to stop.